Hello, my name's Sam. Welcome to my channel. I have decided my reading plans for February and I'm so excited. I'm going to be so happy all month because I'm going to be rereading all of my favorite books and doing it like blind date with a book style. So I have picked out some all-time favorites. Those ones and these ones that I won't drop. And I'm going to wrap them all up and then, I don't know, there's a lot of them. I'll just kind of read them as I can read them. And hopefully I read a decent amount, but I mean, I don't know, I might only make it through like 4 or 5 because I want to also annotate them. Reread and annotate. I'm always saying how much, I need to put these down and maybe pick up the ones on the floor. I'm always saying how much I want to reread and annotate my favorite books, and some of my all-time favorite books, it's like I can't even remember what they were about, so I want to change that. And I thought because of Valentine's Day, it would be fun to wrap them all up and just pick them blindly, blind date with a book style. That being said, the purpose of this video is just to quickly chat about each book I plan to wrap up and potentially reread. I'm not going to give like huge synopses. I'm going to try to just give like a very quick snippet. And in no particular order, I'm just going to grab them where I dropped them. Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher, one of my favorite authors. Clara is in a creepy antiques, oddities, weird museum and accidentally opens a porthole and gets lost in another world. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I really want to reread this before watching the movie. It's about Ryland Grace, who wakes up, realizes he's in space, he has no memory, and he has to figure out why he's there and how he's supposed to save the world. Johnny Appleseed by Joshua Whitehead. I don't really remember a lot about this book because it kind of felt like memoir style, and I would love to reread it to like remember like what I loved about it, but it is about a queer, two-spirit indigenous person who does sex work, I believe, and I just remember it being like very beautifully written. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Mob vibes, teenagers trying to pull off a heist. Nettle and Bone, another one by T. Kingfisher. This one's more like fantasy vibes, whereas Hollow Places is more horror vibes. Mara has to complete these impossible tasks in order to get the things she needs from this witch. A Diary of Blood by S.T. Gibson. If I don't end up unwrapping this one, I'll be really upset. My mom found me this edition of this book. I had been looking for this cover because I hate I don't hate it. I just don't like the other cover. This one I feel like is just so much more beautiful, and I asked her when she went to the UK to try to find this one for me because I thought it was a UK cover. She couldn't find it, and that was a couple years ago, but she didn't stop looking. She found it for me used. It was like the best birthday present I've ever gotten, and I'm just obsessed with rereading it and annotating it and having it be super beautiful. So if you see me unwrapping this one, it's probably because I like committed the feel of it to memory and cheated and picked it on purpose. Butter Honey Pig Bread by Francesca Acquiesci. This is one that I remember loving so much when I read it, but I cannot remember like anything about it other than it's about, I can't remember if they're twins or if they're just sisters. Twins. It's basically about a mom and her twin daughters, and you follow like each of their narratives. And I really can't remember more about it. I just remember the writing. I felt like this was so like underrated when I read it. So this is one that I am excited to reread just to remember like what it is I loved about it. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. This book made me sob. It's about Addie LaRue makes a deal with the devil where she lives forever, but nobody ever remembers her until someone does. The Traveling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arakawa. You're following Satoru and his cat Nana as they go on a road trip, and you're meeting people from Satoru's life, and you get like the inner monologues of the cat as well, and it was just like a beautiful like quiet story, and it also made me cry at the end. Out There by Kate Folk. This is an anthology, and it has some of the most batshit stories I have ever read, like sci-fi, horror, that kind of vibe. And when I got this, I read it and then my friend bought it for me for my birthday. I started kind of rereading a couple of the stories in here, just like the shorter ones, but the one I'm the most excited to reread is The Bone Ward. It is the most insane short story I have ever read. Like honestly, pick this up just to read The Bone Ward, but I am very nervous to reread that story, so we'll see. Okay, now on to some that didn't fall on the floor. A Mind Spread Out on the Ground by Alicia Elliott. One of the best memoirs I've read in a while about oppression, racism, class, really beautifully written. I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman, following 40 women who are imprisoned. We don't know why, we don't know how, and it's narrated by the youngest of the 40. And it was just such an incredible book. Bunny by Mona Awad, another one that I'm excited to reread because I remember nothing about this book other than The Smut Salon and The Hive Mind. Early Morning Riser by Katherine Heine. This is one book that I always compare to like my favorite type of book, which is where the characters are just kind of like ridiculous and trying to get their shit together. You're basically just following a bunch of unlikable characters who like hate each other but like are kind of forced to be like each other's like found family. Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead by Emily Austen, another one of my favorite authors. Similar characters that I love that are awkward and anxious and trying to get their life together. Following Gilda, who goes to this Catholic church to get free therapy and accidentally gets mistaken for applying for a job, so she ends up just working there instead of saying that it was a mistake. Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I don't read a lot of YA anymore, but I remember feeling so seen about how anxiety was written about in this book, and I just want to experience that again. Everything Sad is Untrue by Danielle Nairi. This book was one of the most unique books that I have read in a while. It is technically middle grade, also feels like YA, also feels like adult, also feels like a memoir, if that makes any sense. The author is writing about like his life as if it's fictional, and he's writing about his like younger self telling all these stories, and it felt like a book about storytelling. It goes into a lot of like Persian like tales, and I just remember there being so many good like lines in here. This is going to be a really fun book to reread and annotate. Normal People by Sally Rooney, one of my first all-time favorites from when I started reading regularly again, like in 2019, and I've always said that I wanted to reread this book and I just never have. Basically, you're following two people who can't communicate to save their lives. The Husbands by Holly Gramazio. This book is so funny and has such a low rating, which I understand, but everything that people say they don't like about it, like the repetitiveness, I loved. You're following someone who is basically stuck in a alternate universe loophole where every time a man goes up into her attic, a new man comes down and she is married to them. They are her husband, and she doesn't bother trying to figure it out. She just is like, okay, whatever, this is my life. The Bandit Queens by Parini Shroff. This book felt like a sitcom to me because it had like running jokes throughout the whole thing that I just want to experience again. It's about someone whose husband leaves her, walks away, and everyone just assumes that she killed them. And she's like, yeah, if it'll make you leave me alone, sure, I killed him. And then other people in the village start coming to her being like, hey, you wanna help a girl out? Very good. Shark Heart by Emily Habeck, following a newly married couple, and the man is slowly turning into a shark. Is that a weird synopsis? Yes. Did it still make me sob on 2 separate occasions? Yes. Oh, and the way this is written, I'm just obsessed with, because I love when a book has like no words on the page. In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado, another one that's very uniquely written. This is a memoir, and it's like very interestingly written because every like kind of vignette, like chapter situation is like kind of a different style. Like Dream House as time travel, Dream House as a stranger comes to town, Dream House as utopia, Dream House as folktale, etc., etc. And it's a memoir. Carmen Maria Machado is recounting an abusive relationship that she was in. Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Q. Satanto. One girl, one mom, 3 aunts, set her up on a blind date. She accidentally kills the guy. It's like a rat race story of them trying to dispose of the body and get away with it. And it is absolutely hilarious. Okay, last one, Less by Andrew Sean Greer. It's about a gay author whose ex-partner is getting married, and instead of just declining or accepting the wedding invitation like a normal person, he like runs away and goes on like all these trips all over the world. All right, those are all the books. This is only one of the piles. I don't want to pick up the other one because I feel like I'll drop it again. There are 24 books. How many am I going to realistically read in the month of February? Probably 8. I think if I choose wisely, like they're going to be wrapped up, but like let's be realistic, like I'm going to be able to tell for a lot of them which is which, because also if you don't know like the feel of like your favorite books, like are they your favorite books? Like I I could know like this one, like I know the feel of it. I know the feel of like, I know which book is a hardcover. I know which book is a paperback. I know which book has deckled edges. Like I know which ones like are floppier or like heavier. Like I feel like I'm going to be able to pick and choose a little bit. I'm going to try not to cheat a ton. I'll probably maybe let like my daughter pick one or my husband pick one. Yeah, I'm going to wrap them up now. Not really a part of the video, and then I'll probably come back soon with a video of me rewrapping or unwrapping the first one, picking the first book. And yeah, so I still at this point have no idea how I'm gonna like format these videos, but you know, you'll find out when I find out. Okay, it's the next day. It's January 31st. I've wrapped up all my books and I work the next 2 nights. So I'm gonna pick a book now so that I can hopefully get a little bit of reading in if it's not like a super crazy night. So fingers crossed. But my daughter wanted to pick my first book. So I'm gonna let her do that, which is good because I feel like, I mean, right now I honestly don't even know if these are all facing the right way. It's actually hard to tell once they're wrapped up, but I could definitely, like, there is some that I definitely know, like, I know what this short one is. I only have 3 hardcovers, including this short one, so I know the other 2. And if I could, like, pick them up, I could probably, like, figure out which is which. So I'm gonna let her pick the first one, so there's, like, no cheating. Okay, you can pick. Okay, this is the one that you want? Yeah. Okay, I can't look at the, like, I can't look too close because I can see through the wrapping paper and I want to, like, be surprised.
I'm gonna watch you.
Okay. Also, I have my phone camera up as well, so if I'm, like, going back and forth, that's why. Okay. I think I know which this one is. Let's see. Can we get it on both angles? We'll do it this way. In the Dream House. In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. Good pick. This is one of the ones Mommy wanted to read the most. Thank you. Oh.
What?
I'm going to do that a different way because I wasn't recording on my phone.
What?
I know. That's okay. I'm going to rewrap it.
Unwrapped it.
That's okay. Guess what? I'll just rewrap it because social media is not real. Okay, so I unwrapped In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. I know I gave a little bit of a snippet at the beginning of the video, but this is a memoir detailing an abusive relationship that Carmen Maria Machado had with an ex-partner. And I just am so excited to read this one because I want to be able to read the most books possible like this month, and I know which ones like on here would take a little bit longer and which ones won't take very long. And this is one that won't take very long because it's written in these like short little snippets. So I'm so excited to reread and annotate this one. I'm going to probably say that about every book that I pick. And I feel good that my daughter picked this one because this is one that I was planning on trying to get. And so now it was authentically picked rather than me handpicking it. So next, my favorite part, I have to pick my tabs that are going to match my book. I like matching the colors of the tabs. I've only done it a couple times. These are a couple books that I have reread and annotated with like matching tabs. And I'm excited to add so many more to my shelves after this month. My goal is to get 8 books read. That's my goal. So we're off to a good start.